Now you did dedications with Lil Wayne, my favorite rapper.
Right on.
How did that come about, like with you and Wayne?
It came about really. I was on a tour bus with Ti. We was on the Urban Legend tour. I was in my bunk. Tip was on the phone. You know, on the tour bus, you got the hallway from the back room, and then you got the bunks in the middle. He was on the phone with Wayne. I heard him talking, and something told me part of the conversation. I realized he was talking to Wheezy, and I was like, "Yo, let me holler at him." Me and Wayne got on the phone, and that was our first time chopping it up. And I was like, "Yo, we got to get one. Like, we got to get one in." And he was like, "Yeah, it's time. Bet, let's do it." So I was like, "All right, cool." So we exchanged information, and then I literally came up with the concept of dedication. I just was, again, just kind of playing around with words, dedication. I was like, "All right, it's fitting." Um, and we met at Stankonia for the first time. It was me, Wayne, and Tez, and we started going through instrumentals and just, you know, like shit for him to rap on and what have you. And that's what then he told me that's when he was about to introduce Young Money. Because mind you, remember he was coming before dedications. Wayne Squad Up was his mixtape series. And he was pushing Squad Up. Because I used to use records off Squad Up for Gangsta Grills, like when I had when it was just the compilations and everything. So then he told me, he's about to introduce Young Money through the tape and everything. And then yeah, that's how dedication was born. I literally wrote out a script. I think that was my first time writing out a script. Like I used to literally kind of like write out a script as if I was doing an interview. So all the skits in there is me just asking questions and him going into the booth and answering the questions. And this was, I think, like this was after the Carter one. So motherfuckers who were already Wayne fans were familiar with how his style was changing and evolving and growing. But I think the dedication also was a mixtape because it was a mixtape and it got into mixtape hands and it was on Canal Street in New York, and the way it was moving, it touched a different audience that may have not have been as familiar with Wayne. And even the fact of it being a Gangsta Grills, caught some eyes. And then he was just spazzing. Like it was, that was, I'm thankful. And again, the universe worked in a way to allow me into his life at the time where we were able to make that history. But I mean, literally, like, I remember while I was putting it together and listening to them rhymes on the first one, like, yo, this is just different, bro. And like, I ain't gonna lie, like, I liked Wayne, now he's definitely like top 5 greatest rappers of all time. But, I also thought he was the wobbly wobbly kid, the drop it like it's hot. I didn't think he could really rap. You feel what I'm saying? Like, early on, and then as I started to really tune in, and then by the time first Carter and then dedication, when dedication hit, I was like, yo, he's different. Like, this doesn't sound like anything at the time.
Are you sending him beats, or does he get to pick the beats when he gets on a dedication?
I'm both. I'm sending him beats and he's picking the beats on dedication. So it's a little
Okay.
bit of both, because actually, and real fans know this, but there's actually 2 different versions of the first dedication. There's a version without me, and then there's my version, because I was still on tour at the time and they were rushing me to get it done, and they wound up putting out a version without me, like prematurely. And I was like, and he had a manager at the time, and it was really her decision. And I was like, yo, relax, I got it, like, chill out. So there's a couple of beats that I add just to switch it up. I asked for the acapellas, and I switched a couple of beats on my version of the tape. But that version doesn't have the bells and the whistles, and it doesn't have the intros, I mean the skits, and the drops and everything. So it's just not the same. But he picks a lot of his beats, but I also send him a lot of his beats too.
Oh, okay. And are you in the studio with Wayne, or are you just y'all just sending back and forth?
Both. A lot of it is sent back, but I'll give you an interesting story. On dedication 2, we were pretty much all the way almost finished on the tape. The It was Khaled was shooting his first video for Holla at Me in Miami. So he flew a bunch of people out to the video for the video. So we wound up all being in Miami around that time. And Wayne told me to come to Circle House to come get all the music for dedication 2. And while I was there, I was like, yo, my partner just did this beat. It's kind of crazy. At the time, I think Busta Rhymes and Tip had rapped on it. And I was like, you might fuck with it. And it was the Cannon beat. And I gave it to him. And then he sent me Cannon back the next day. That was literally the last song that we did for Dedication 2. And he just fucking spazzed.
Wow. Okay. So what's your top 3 dedications?
My top 3 dedications is Dedication 2 for the first one. I'm gonna go Dedication 2, then I'm gonna go Dedication 1, then I'm gonna go Dedication 3.
Okay. Dedication 2 is the fan favorite. Everybody likes
That's the one.
Dedication 2. Why do you think that stands out like that?
I just think that tape is like I was just saying yesterday, like me personally, I was showing my ass on that tape. Like I
Facts.
was just fucking arrogant. Like there's a part on that tape where I'm playing a record and I'll just say, hold up, we'll get to that later. And I just go to a whole nother song. Like I was crazy. I was out of my mind. Like there's hidden records on there. Fucking Georgia Bush I mean, not Georgia Bush, but Ambitions of a Rider is hidden on the tape. Like it's just a secret song. It's not on the track listing. You have to literally let air play for 4 minutes. So I'm just talking about my tricks and trades of it. Like I was on some shit. Like I felt like I had the formula down to where what I brought to the table and what the Gangsta Grills brand meant, and like all the bells and the whistles and all that fly shit. And Wayne was just he was at his peak. Like he was just spazzing on everything. Like there's so many bars on there. Like to me, that's just a flawless mixtape from beginning to end. Like that shit was on the New York Times top 10 list of albums for the year. Like of '06 or whatever year it came out of. It's that shit to me is flawless on every aspect.
And Wayne, it seems like you and Wayne, I don't know if y'all are like real friends, but I know when y'all are focused on that project, he
Yeah.
gets it done right away.
No, yeah, I mean, he takes it very seriously, as he does everything. I mean, he's just one of those type of artists and type of human beings. Like, anybody in the game will really tell you they've had that relationship with him. He's the type of nigga that'll respond right back to you. If you send him something, if he's gonna do it, he's gonna get it done right for you. If he's not gonna do it, he's not gonna Hollywood you. So, I would love to sit here and say, yeah, it's just a special bond me and him have, but that's just the type of human being he is. And we definitely like, I love him to death. We've had a great relationship, and working in dedication, he just, he knows he got to show his ass.